Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli, back with another review video, and of course, reviewing something once again on Disney Plus and from the MCU, and not to mention, for this being part of, reviewing something Halloweenish, yeah, because with this coming out around, this month and Halloween time, that's right, from the MCU and on Disney Plus, it's Werewolf by Night. Yep. And basically, Marvel Studios' special presentation. What's interesting about Werewolf by Night is that it's not the start of a show, or it's not, say, a movie. It's how it says, like, in the poster and the opening of this Marvel Studios special presentation. So this is the Marvel Studios special presentation of Werewolf by Night. Well, it does say on IMDb TV movie, like, it's a mini movie. So it's running time 52 minutes. So that's even like, say, a runtime of, I don't know, a Star Trek episode. Just about. So and fun fact, this was directed by none other than, a great composer of, and does music and score for a lot of movies, and not to mention he's done some for a handful of Marvel films. Michael Giacchino, yeah. I can't remember if he probably has directed before. And yeah, so he directed a piece of Marvel Studios material. That's good for him, and not to mention, of course, he did the music and score for this. All right, but anyways, the story follows a lycanthrope superhero who fights evil using the abilities given to him by a curse brought on by his bloodline. So, yeah, the cast of characters, Jack Russell, played by Gael Garcia Bernal, if I'm saying that right, yeah. He's Jack Russell, and who would be the werewolf, Marvel's own werewolf character. And yeah, like the Werewolf by Night being in the Marvel comics, obviously. He's part of this, like, colony or whatever it is, called the Bloodline. And the other members, like, there's Elsa Bloodstone, played by Laura Donnelly. Yeah, I think I said her last name right. And I was surprised, too, and good for him, because Kirk R. Thatcher, to Star Trek fans, he'd be best known as, say, the punk on the bus from The Voyage Home, where Spock gave him the Vulcan nerve pinch. And Kirk has also directed, he's best known for directing a lot of Muppet films, so TV specials and so on. And he's one of the members. He's Javon. Basically, he's Scottish, even like at one point calling Elsa, Lassie, Lassie. So, and then there's also, like, the member of the bloodline. There's Verusa, if I'm saying that right, played by Harriet Sansom Harris. Like, she's the leader of this group. And then there's also Lyarn, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Some of the characters' names a bit hard to pronounce. Well, like the cast, Leonardo Nam plays Lyarn, and Daniel J. Watts plays Barasso. That sounds about right, Barasso. And Eugene Bondurant? No, I don't know. She plays Azarel. I think that sounds about right, Azarel. Oh yeah, even there was a bit of narration at the beginning, and Rick D. Wasserman was the narrator. And then there was, I thought this was Kirk Thatcher. Apparently not. Because there was at one point, they are basically put to a task, like, okay, to find the stone, the red stone. Did I forget to mention, and yeah, as you're watching this review, it's in black and white. Like, the whole film is in black and white, which that's really nice, and gives you that feel and vibe, of a classic horror kind of thing. You know what I mean? Well, not to mention, because when we see Jack Russell turn into the werewolf, when you look at, like, say, the werewolf, like, how he looks, you know, I think it's obvious, like, modeled after, say, the original Wolfman from the classic Wolfman film, one of the Universal monsters. It's obvious, yeah, when you look at him. And so, like, they're, like, Jack being, like, part of this, like, mission or something, this quest to find the stone, the hunt, basically, and each of, like, okay, basically, like, Jack fighting off against, Javon and the others, and, you know, he doesn't want to fight Elsa, because I think probably Jack has feelings for Elsa, and there's a little bit of bonding between Elsa and Jack a little bit later in the film. Not to mention, Jack has a friend who is a monster and witch being called Man-Thing, and Jack calls him Ted, and the voice of Ted / the Man-Thing being voiced by Carrie Jones. And I think, if I recall, like, I've read this, that Kevin Feige was very insistent on Man-Thing being in this. And, you know, after this came out, everybody's already, like, loving this character, and he's already become the fan favorite. Yeah, because, you know, he's a like a very, like, gentle and, like, funny creature, you know? And when he fights, you know, he really, like, goes for the attack and so on. But, yeah, and so, you know, friendship between Jack and Ted, and Elsa meeting Ted as well. And, you know, Jack had Elsa tell, you know, Ted about what Jack was doing and so on. And even, like, say, Ted killed Javon. Literally, like, I think, like, Ted's abilities, like, holding them and, like, basically, like, burning them to crisp, basically. Like, when he killed Javon, like, he, like, burned his head to crisp. Like, oh my gosh, gruesome. And when eventually, of course, like, Jack, you know, he finds the stone. Well, like, the stone actually, the stone was at one point attached to Ted, aka the Man-Thing. Of course, Jack and Elsa, they got it off of Ted, and the stone kind of, like, Jack can't, like, touch the stone, it, like, pushes him, you know? Which it turns out that Jack lied to the group, the bloodline, that he's not one of them, and he's a monster too. And when him and Elsa are put in a cage, yeah, that's when they force him to transform. And, well, they'd be sorry to piss him off, because, of course, he does start attacking, and even when he gets out of the cage, even, like, before he transformed, he was, like, sniffing Elsa, because that way, to remember who she is. You get what I'm saying? And her scent. So, when he transforms, you know, he breaks out, and so does Elsa. You know, Jack attacks all the guards with the tasers, and Elsa killing the bloodline members. And, you know, she kills a couple, like, slicing their necks, and even, like, Eugene's character, like, slicing her neck, and, that's gruesome. And, also, okay, yeah, I think it was, because there was another character that, he showed up at the beginning, and then at the very end, which I'll talk about him in just a minute. Then, of course, like, they're all defeated. I mean, except for, say, Verussa. And, well, at one point, Elsa does, like, defeat Verussa. And then, I think, yeah, Jack, as the werewolf, in his werewolf form, was almost about to, you know, attack Elsa. But, of course, you know, Elsa getting Jack, because Jack's in there, of course, to remind him that it's her. And, yeah, he remembers, and he runs off. And then, of course, Verussa, not defeated yet, until Ted comes in and basically just burns her to crisp. And, yeah, and Ted asking Elsa, after that, you know, Ted's like, you know, where's Jack? Well, he doesn't speak English, but, you know, Elsa can understand his language. And this one other character, Euless, oh, no, my mistake. I think it was this guy, Billy Swan. I'm pretty sure. He was like, I guess, a servant or butler, I want to say, played by Al Hamacher. I think I got that right. And, and Jeffrey Ford was, I didn't realize Jeffrey Ford was the additional Man-Thing voice. And, like Elsa telling, Billy to, after the, because of the dead bodies being around, like she tells him, to clean the shit up, as she says. And then, like, she has the stone, and then it then translates into color. And hence, hey, now it's in color. Ah! And then, like, we hear, they play the song from The Wizard of Oz, Somewhere Over the Rainbow is played, and right as, the film ends, and we get one last scene with Jack and Ted, because after Jack ran away, and Man-Thing, aka, Ted, found him, and have a little talk, and, Jack asked Ted if Elsa was okay, and yeah, she's doing fine, and, until Elsa and Jack meet again, and yep, and then, like, right as their conversation ends, and, like, the camera pans, and we get, like, a classic, like, The End logo, that, like, in classic Hollywood, classic movies, The End. That's really nice, and yeah, what a way to end that. I will say, Werewolf by Night was an interesting piece of MCU material, and it's good. Not to mention, just a few days before this came out, I saw this. The score on Rotten Tomatoes was 100. Wow, because it looks as though that it was really good, and it is good. I enjoyed it. Even my mom enjoyed it. Definitely, I give this a 10 out of 10. And what about you guys? Have you watched Werewolf by Night yet? And what you thought of my review? And did I forget to? I almost forgot to mention there was at one point I thought it was Kirk Thatcher who was playing the tuba. It was a flaming tuba basically right as the hunt was about to begin, and Jack going in to hunt for the stone. Apparently, it was not Kirk Thatcher. It was David Silverman. Yeah, David Silverman from The Simpsons, yeah, and who also was the co-director of Monsters Incorporated. That was him. I had no idea. He got like we don't see his face, but he's right there, he's playing the tuba, because David Silverman can play the tuba. So, yeah, I didn't know that until now, as I record this review. Alright, with all that being said, thank you very much for watching. Again, I give this a 10 out of 10. Again, and you guys let me know what you thought of my review. If you've seen this, leave comments and give this review a like as always. So, again, with that being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of Werewolf by Night. More reviews coming your way. They're gonna be awesome. Keep looking forward, and I'll see you guys in the next video/review. And I look forward to what the next Marvel Studios presentation is going to be. You never know, and we'll just have to wait and see. And of course, continuing on reviewing more Halloweenish stuff. Take care, peace out, and Avengers Assemble.